Hi guys, it's Trish, back with another video. Today we're going to be making a really pretty fall bracelet using this cider house strand, some chain, and some beading wire. Okay, so I'm also going to be using, guys, some pieces out of the Into the Woods mix, which is super gorgeous. I'm going to use one of these acorns and one of these squirrels, and I'm going to make that the center of our bracelet. So what I'm first going to do here is I'm going to open up a jump ring. Let me grab my pliers. Okay, and I'm just going to open up, this is about a 5mm jump ring, and I'm just going to open this with a twist. And I'm going to take our squirrel and attach that to our acorn, okay? And then we're just going to close that with a twist as well. Just make sure that your jump ring, when you twist it, they're nice and close together at the end, so you don't have an opening for anything to slip through, okay? So that's going to be our little center guy. And I think we will probably be okay. Let me see how this is sitting. So it's going to sit straight. So we are going to have to put a jump ring in that, so it'll go onto our wire. So let's take another 5mm jump ring and open that up. And put it through the top of the acorn there. Again, just making sure that's nice and closed. So it's going to be on our wire. You could even use an oval jump ring if you wanted to be sure you weren't going to have any trouble. So once that's put together, we can go ahead and start stringing. I leave my wire and my beading wire, as always, on the roll. I'm just going to set that bead mix out of the way. And we're just going to string these beads on. Now, I like the way that they came. You can certainly mix them up and put them however you want to, but this is a simple way to do it. I want to put a little bit of chain on, so I took that middle bead out. So we're just going to have to see as we go for measurements, because I want to leave a little bit so I can put the chain on. So as I go here, I'm going to measure probably, so if we want to end up with a 6-inch bracelet, we're going to want to do 2 inches on each side of beads and then 2 inches of chain. Okay, so we're just going to keep stringing on the ones that we like, and these beautiful bead caps, really lacy and just beautiful. All right, so we have that, and this is where your good old measure comes in handy, your little ruler. So we're gonna put these crystals on too. So these are stunning. And then let's measure again once we get that other crystal on. Get my bead cap straightened out there. You could just stuff up so you can see better. All right, and then I'm just going to take my tape measure in there, or my ruler in there again, and I'm going to pop one of these spacers. So that gives us about 2 inches there. Whoops, I grabbed right onto our little guy, which is going to be next. And then we're going to feed on our acorn and squirrel that we did, just to make a cute little focal for our bracelet in the center. And then the other spacer, put that on, and then our next bead cap, which is over here. Go. So that is what we have so far, coming along really cute. then we're going to put on our copper bead, and then antique copper. This is, I love antique copper. It's one of my favorite metals. And then we're going to put on our rondelle just to give it a pop. And our other faceted rondelle there. All right, so let me measure again. Bring up my little bank roller here. So we're at 5. So we want to be at 4. So I think I'm going to take these 2 beads off of either side. And I'm going to measure again. Yeah, that's about where we need to be. So at this point, we're going to take these off. And then once we cut it, we can take the other ones off. So at this point, we're going to start crimping our wire. We can crimp the right side first here. So then that way when we cut, we'll be already secured on one side. So we're going to grab some crimps here. I'm going to use some number 2 crimp tubes. Let's see here. And then we're just going to put a crimp on the end. Just put the wire through the crimp, just like so. Pull it down a little ways. Then fold our wire back over and put the end back through. But this time we're not going to go the whole way through like we did the first time. Okay? And we're just going to bring that up, and we're just going to make a little loop on the end, however big we want. And then we're just going to bring in our crimping pliers and give it a squeeze. Okay. Then I like to cut the wires off on mine. I get me my heavy duty pliers, and I like to cut the ends off. And I have those right here. I take just the ends and cut right up to the crimp because I know my crimp is good and I don't want this extra wire poking into anyone. So I cut it just like so. Okay. So then we're going to move our beads up to the end, and we're going to cut off of our spool here, and we're going to leave enough that we can crimp. Okay. So I can put that out of the way and then get those 2 beads off that we did not end up using. All right, so let me get our beads here over to the side because we will definitely be using those in the future because this is a beautiful strand. So then what we're going to do is crimp the other side, and we're going to do it the exact same way, except this time we're going to make sure that our tension is right on our piece. Okay, and we're just going to feed that back through just like we did earlier, feeding that back through the crimp. Okay, and we're just going to adjust, and I'm going to pull up either side. So I'm pulling this side to get the beads closer, and I'm pulling the opposite strand to make the loop smaller. Okay, so I'm pulling up on the right strand to get the crimp closer to the piece. Okay, and what you can do also, guys, is a little trick I like to do. I take my round nose pliers and just put it in that loop there and hold them open, and then just give a pull. For some reason it's fighting me today. And then just give a pull and get it to the size that I want. Okay. And then we're just going to take our crimper on that side, make sure my tension's good on everything. And it is, it's good. It's not crammed together. It's not too loose. Just perfect. So I'm just going to take my crimper in here then, and I'm going to give my crimp a squeeze. Okay. And come in with my heavy duty pliers and cut that strand. So now we have our main bracelet piece here, and we're going to want to add 2 inches of chain to this. Okay. So we can lay our chain out here beside our bracelet. That's going to look so cute. Have a couple jump rings here. And we're going to measure about 2 inches of chain. So that should be good there. And then we are going to have to cut this chain by the looks of it. So I don't feel, oh no, there's a crack in it. Let's see if we can open it. All right, so let's take our pliers, get our bent chain nose, get some heavy duty ones because this chain's pretty thick, to see if we can open it up. If not, we can always cut it. So I'm just going to try to give this a twist. There we go. Opened right up for us. Perfect. And then we can twist that close so we don't lose that link, because this chain is gorgeous and we will be using it on other projects. All right, so we have our 2-inch piece. And now that I know that I can open this up, I will open this up instead of using a jump ring and just hook one side of my bracelet into that, okay? Just like so. Make sure that it's closed good, because again, we don't want our wire slipping through, okay? Closed well, I guess is the word, right? So to finish our piece, we're just going to need a clasp and some jump rings. I'm just going to take our 5mm jump ring, one of those, and open it up and hook it onto my large lobster clasp, and then one end onto my chain, just like so. And then I'm going to grab the jump ring, whoops, and then I'm going to grab the jump ring with my pliers on one side and on the other side, and we're just going to close that up. Just like so. And we have our lobster clasp. And then on the other side, we're going to take our small lobster clasp, and, oh, excuse me, our small jump ring, and hook that on to our larger jump ring, and then hook that onto the end with the beading wire. So we have a closure. We're just going to close that, again, making sure we're getting it nice and tight. There we go. So once you have that done, your bracelet is finished, and you can just link the lobster clasp into the loop, and you have a cute little bracelet. Now, keep in mind too, guys, if you wanted to put your charm on either end of your bracelet, you could certainly do that. I was afraid that it would interfere with the closure and the lobster clasp, so I just decided to put it in the middle. But that is our finished project, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.